Hello, my name is Zoulfa Katouh, and I'm the author of As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. The story revolves around Salama, a young girl living in Syria a year after the Syrian Revolution has started. She volunteers at the hospital where she tries to find a way out of Syria before her pregnant best friend gives birth. On top of all of that, due to her PTSD, she suffers from these hallucinations that seem a bit too real. And so, with all of that going on, Salama has forgotten how to live. That is until she meets Kinan, a young boy who wears his heart on his sleeve. But the bombs are falling, and Layla's due date is getting closer. So I'm going to read a passage from my book. It takes place in the first chapter in Layla's home, and it's a conversation between Salama and Layla. Layla is trying to remind Salama on why this is happening, why the revolution is happening, because Salama has forgotten how to live. Okay, all right. So life is more than just survival, Salama, she says. I know that, I reply. Our teasing mood has vanished. She gives me a pointed look. Do you really? Because I see the way you act. You're just focusing on the hospital, on working, on me. But you're not actually living. It's as if you don't want to think about it at all. She pauses, holding my stare, and my mouth dries. It's as if you don't care, Salama. But I know you do. You know this revolution is about getting our lives back. It's not about survival. It's about us fighting. If you can't fight here, you won't anywhere else. Not even if you change your mind and we made it to Germany. I stand and gesture at the forlorn, peeling paint on the walls. At nothing. Fight what? We'll be lucky if the worst that happens to us is death. And you know that. Either we'll get arrested by the military or a bomb will kill us. There's nothing left to fight for because we can't fight. No one's helping us. I volunteer at the hospital because I can't stand seeing people die. But that's it. Layla looks at me, but there's no annoyance in her eyes, only compassion. We fight while we're still here, Salama, because this is our country. This is the land of your father and his father before him. Your history is embedded in this soil. No country in the world will love you as yours does. Tears sting my eyes. Her words echo from the history books we read at school. Love for our country is in our bone marrow. It's in our national anthem, which we sang every morning from our first day in school. The words were just words then, but now, after all of this, they have become our reality. Our spirits are defiant, and our history is glorious, and our martyrs' souls are formidable guardians. I avoid Data's gaze. I don't want a guilt trip. I've had enough of that already. I've lost enough in this war, I say bitterly. Her voice is firm. It's not a war, Salama. It's a revolution. Whatever. And with that, I walk back to my bedroom, closing the door behind me so I can breathe. All I care about, all I have left in the world is Layla and the hospital. I'm not a monster. There are people suffering, and I can help. It's the reason I wanted to be a pharmacist. But I refuse to think about why they ended up in the hospital, why all of this is happening. The why took away Mama. I remember her fingers cold against mine. It took Baba and Hamza to God knows where. I don't want to dwell on the past. I don't want to cry about how I'm about to end my teen years with nothing more than lost hope and nightmare-filled sleep. I want to survive. I want my family. I just want my family back. Even if what Layla says is the truth. I change into the only pajamas I have left, a black cotton sweater and bottoms, decent enough if I ever need to make an escape into the night. In the bathroom, I ignore my wasted reflection and dry brown hair falling past my shoulders and open the water tap out of habit. Nothing. The neighborhood hasn't had water or electricity in weeks. It used to come in bursts, but it has stopped altogether with the siege. Luckily, it rained last night, so Layla and I put out buckets to collect the water. I use a small handful for ablution and pray. The sun's feeble rays have vanished from my room's scratched floorboards, and the dark cloak of the night takes over humps. My teeth chatter for a bit with anticipation before I clamp my lips shut, swallowing thickly. Whatever control I exude during the day falters when the sun sets. I sit on my bed, close my eyes, and take deep breaths. I need to clear my mind. I need to focus on something other than the fear and pain that have taken root in my soul. Sweet Elysium, sweet as their name, I murmur, praying for my nerves not to fail me. White petals, used for pain relief, also for colds, abdominal cramps, and coughs. Sweet, sweet. It works. My lungs begin distributing the oxygen evenly to my blood. I open my eyes and watch the thicket of gray clouds outside my window. The glass is chipped at the sides from when Layla's home took the impact of a nearby bomb, and the frame is splintered. When I moved in, I had to wash the blood from the pane. Despite the window being locked, a chill sweeps the room, and I shiver, knowing what's about to happen. The horror I see isn't just confined to the hospital. His voice reminds me of the freezing water I splash over myself when I come home drenched in the martyr's blood. Its stones weighing on my chest, sinking me to the earth below. It's heavy as a humid day and deafening as the bombs the military throws on us. It's what our hospital is built on and the wordless sounds we make. I turn towards him slowly. What do you want now? Khauf looks at me. His suit is crisp and clean. It troubles me, though, the speck of red lining his shoulders. They've always been there since we met, and I still haven't gotten used to them. But I don't like looking at his eyes either. Icy blue. With his midnight black hair, he doesn't look human, which I suppose is the point. He looks as close to human as he can try to be. You know what I want, his voice ripples, and I shiver.